Test. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Refresh the chat here. Hope y'all can hear me. Cool, thank you, Seisu, for the confirm. How you doing today, brother? Can hear ya. Broke my mic, it probably. Hey, you probably heard that too. Shoot, I just hit my water bottle on the mic. Yeah. That was loud. Yeah, I hit it really hard. I don't know how I did it that bad. You can still hear me okay, I hope. You close that behind you, thank you. Okay. We are here. You want to say no? I just want to make sure it's not fuzzy or crackly or anything, because, like, this tumbler hit my mic really, really rough just now. Hey, welcome, Ginger Power. How you doing? Hey, BB, welcome back. Wow, Steam is already up. That's impressive. I like it when it goes live quick. Wonderful. My day is rad fantabulistic. How about how's everyone's weekend? How was your weekend? What did you do this weekend? Did you get any session prep in or play time with your players? Feels overwhelmed. Oh, my headphones were turned way up. That's why. My bad. Okay. So everything's looking good on my end, which is awesome because I was having, you know, just all sorts of issues this morning. My modem was having problems. So it's incredibly hot in Vegas, like triple digits, and today we are like 30+% humidity. So stacking those two things, it is quite rough on technology. Like electronics tend to struggle and have problems. Anyway, I'm just glad it's working. Just started prep for your next session. Nice. Going to be participating in a one-shot tomorrow. Really excited about that. Oh, nice. Nice, BB. That's cool. Frost giants are always fun. Okay. Make sure I'm watching the chats on every platform effectively at the moment. TikTok, I see you. See you. So if you got any questions, let me know. Steam, also watching. Twitch over here. YouTube up here. Okay, we good. And Facebook up here. And Twitter up here. Okay. So if any of y'all have any questions, feel free to let me know. We'll do our best to answer them for you. Mapmaker Monday is today's theme. Every Monday we host this stream where I do a live build of a themed map. For the past few Mapmaker Mondays, I've been building this wizard tower build. It's a multi-story tower with a top floor observatory. It's 4 floors. Hey Will, how you doing? So humid today. Whew, okay. My head is like damp. um, yeah, same. Oh, interesting. That's cool, Eduardo. That's nice. That's very cool. Well, Alex, it's always best to catch the live thing, right? If you can, at least. How you doing, Alex? All right. So this tower was our previous build, and it turned out fantastic. It is a beautiful, beautiful build. Got this lovely garden, uh, kind of latrine, shed, kind of work area, a well, and then there is a little escape hatch underneath this tower. If things get, hectic for the wizard, I think he's more paranoid than he's likely to be attacked. And then the tower itself is 4 stories. One moment here. So when you hop in, you can look around and check things out. So the observatory is the top floor. You can go down, and then there's a bedroom. Now, while I'm showing this off to anyone who's curious, we need to kind of come up with a theme for our current Mapmaker Monday, so I can start making something. I had a couple ideas that I was gonna kind of toss out to the community and see what people thought. One is I was gonna build like a massive, like kind of old graveyard that just has seen like centuries of use and has like lots and lots of like plots and mismatched terrain, and things are kind of older in some places and newer in others. Will, yeah, I'm trying to stay cool too. It's just so humid today. Auto subtitles, canned man. Unfortunately, I don't have that set up. I mean, I do you have headphones on you by chance? I do not have like closed captioning set up unless there is like Twitch offers it automatically in the app. I don't know if it does that though. Some services do, but not all of them do. Say so you might need to coordinate that to him. So as you can see, it's, a lot of different levels of cool. Here we've got the kitchen, kind of food area. Go up a floor is the study and the Alchemist lab. Then you have the bedroom, bathroom area. Especially in the desert, right? It is crazy. But yeah, try and stay cool, my friend. Take it easy today. Anyway, this map turned out brilliant. I really enjoy it, and I am going to be sharing it on the Steam Workshop probably in the next 2 days. I am waiting on some artwork for the final bit of it, and I just got the dimensions for the blackboard, so I'm going to be adding that to the wiki as well. So, few things. I have a giveaway that I should have been done yesterday. I should have posted it this morning or yesterday, but the video I shot, I was the big dumb, and I set my resolution too low, I guess. I didn't realize it was far too low. I don't really use my phone that often to record stuff. I usually use my webcam. It's a nice, like, Elgato webcam. So I used my phone and I didn't have the settings right, so I need to reshoot some stuff. But basically, what I'm working on is a giveaway to celebrate now that there's 9,000 maps on the Steam Workshop. Well, 9,000 plus. Are you talking about this camera up here or the first person camera? Either way, if you want to avoid that, I mean, some things to help. If you go into the settings under first person, hey, how you doing, traveler? You can disable head bob. First off, that helps tremendously. In fact, I should have that off on the stream, right? So now it just walks flat. It won't bob. That helps a lot in first person. Next, if you go to settings, you also have in first person your point of view, your field of view. The lower it is, the more like standard, like non-fisheye view. But then the higher this number is, the more fisheye it feels, but then you see a wider perspective. It just feels more natural, like a natural eye view to me. But I also play like a lot of shooters on computers, so I use like a high field of view naturally. So I set it to about 75 on the stream to get a good happy medium. From here, without the head bob, it's a little bit better. If you're running into issues still, the only recommendation I can have to try and prevent it would be to, try some other remedies too, not necessarily built into DA. There is a well-known remedy for motion sickness that a lot of like gamers and VR players use. If you drink ginger ale, which is, just like a soda, it actually can help, or ginger is known to help with motion sickness. I would drink a little bit of ginger soda when I play VR games that give me motion sickness, and that helps tremendously. That's just a personal tip there. As far as like input delay, I mean, it is locked to 30 FPS. You can't increase it. So, I mean, you may be lower than you're used to, and that might be part of the reason you think it's like it might be making you motion sick if you run it like much higher FPSs than that. But do remember that like 30 FPS, 28, like is it like 28, 29 FPS is a cinematic FPS. And it's also not necessarily a final version of this. We hope to, with time, add more like advanced settings to this. Peppermint tea, huh? So Traveler over on TikTok says, peppermint tea for motion sickness is a big winner for me. So that's a good suggestion. So I don't know if Can Man can hear me, but that would be the answer there. Would be those couple settings and the yeah, the kind of remedy options. I do feel like the more you utilize, and I'm not telling you to do this by any means, but in my past experience, games that make me motion sick or movies or any like content, I tend to try to absorb it in small doses and then build up a tolerance. Like VR used to make me really sick. 60 FPS, 120 FPS games used to make me really sick, and now they don't. I remember when I would first play Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One, and I could only play like a round before I could stop playing. So I'm, maybe do it in smaller doses, if anything, to try and minimize it. Those would be my suggestions. Try different settings, try some remedies that can help with motion sickness, and then do it in smaller doses if possible. Thank you for that suggestion, Traveler. I really appreciate that. Bro, that's not what I meant. You know it. I would just say, do first person or camera shots in small increments. That's silly. The new Minecraft update looks weird, right, user? Well, I mean, it kind of does look a little like a Minecraft mod in a way, doesn't it? And then I've got that Minecraft background kind of music going on from Stream Beats. But this is actually Dungeon Alchemist, which is a map making tool available on Steam, and it's designed to help you make maps for your fantasy tabletop games, such as D&D or Pathfinder. But it does work great for just fun map making, similar to like Minecraft or anything like Sims, etc. I really enjoy map making in it for fun, for really no reason. A lot of maps I make don't ever end up in a campaign. So, and there's plenty of people in our community who use it that way. Honestly, Ken, man, I hope we can, that we can come up with a solution for you. What I'm thinking is it's probably the drop in FPS, most likely, because you're used to a higher FPS, and as a result of which, it is kind of jarring for sure in first person or in the camera mode. And I hope that these solutions work for now. I have petitioned the devs to, add like advanced settings, and I know our community has through our suggestion board, our roadmap and suggestion board called Upvoty. Can we get an Upvoty drop in chat, please? Hey Tara, how are you? Welcome back. Hey DM, welcome. So I'm thinking we need to pick a theme. Has anyone made any suggestions by chance for a new theme for what we could do to make a new map? I had two ideas. One was the large cemetery, kind of an old, massive cemetery that's gotten like centuries of use, right? So there'll be catacombs, there'll be stuff like that, big swaths of graves, dead trees, rubble, etc. The other two suggestions, one would be a massive sewer system / catacombs type situation, caves, catacombs, sewers, kind of mashup. The other one would be a island in the middle of the sea that is a sort of a base for pirates or smugglers, and it has like a cove, sort of a Sea of Thieves type situation. Go ahead and ban that person, Seisu. Pitch black. I am doing well, Tara. Wonderfully. So I gave kind of three suggestions. So cemetery is getting a lot of love so far, and we could mix and match catacombs with cemetery and maybe even a little sewer. We could probably do A and B together a little bit. So I'll let the community kind of chat about that, and then we'll go from there. Hey, see you, BB. Thank you for being here. Eduardo did. And I'll be announcing the, I'll put up a notice for the with the winner and then the information about the new dam challenge. Obviously, you can see it here because we discussed it on the stream Saturday. But for right now, I usually just tell everyone to take the weekend off after the dam challenge and wait for the announcement in the dam challenge channel on Discord before you submit entries. Cronkler on TikTok asks, hey, random question. Will there ever be any carpet tile textures, not just rugs? That is a really good question, Cronkler. I wish I had a for certain answer. One thing I will say is we do love adding more floor textures each update. And, I think carpets as an option, some plain color carpets, some fancy carpets is a great suggestion. If it's not already on our Upvoty, we have a suggestion board called on a website called Upvoty. If you Google Dungeon Alchemist Upvoty, you can find it. I would really love to share the link with you, but TikTok will not allow me to share links in chat, even on my own stream. So unfortunately, I cannot. But that website is our roadmap/suggestion board. And that would be a great suggestion if it's not already. I would search and just see, carpet floor tiles. If there is one, upvote it, comment on it. If there isn't, make a new one. Get some attention on it. That way, basically any upvotes or upvote suggestions that get comments, upvotes, they are more likely to be implemented as into our development cycle. Like, we have a roadmap and plan that is based off of the stretch goals that were achieved in our Kickstarter, but we also sub in new content and suggestions from our community to, help make the updates much more full. Not just a few hundred objects and a few new rooms, but a bunch of quality of life improvements, features, etc. So, DM, the winner was Eduardo Montero, who is also in chat here on Twitch, if I believe. Cronkler, I appreciate you that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish that we had more options. Did you check the Steam Workshop by chance? There is probably carpets on here or rugs. There's a bunch of different options here that were kind of added. Yeah, this is like a floor option for a kind of a carpet. There is also some brilliant wood and tile that would be great in a library. It does do room tiles, but as an abstract floor tile, which are these. And they snap. So there's object floor tiles, and then there's regular floor tiles. They're distinctly different. But these can be placed anywhere, not just inside of a room, which is great. You can put them over even existing room ones. So let me show you. Let me just draw a room with just a floor. We'll do... let's do a wizard tower here. Just generate this. That's actually one of the wood ones that's really nice. So in this case, I'm going to go on the workshop here. Bring those assets. Let's go carpet. Let's search that. Let's download... Let's download these. This one here will probably work there. And just get this corner one just to be safe. Now, if you, instead of using these floor tiles, which these are great, these are pretty simplified, you can drag and drop, but it only works in room flooring, right? So if you want to put flooring anywhere, including outside or on top of other flooring. Notice that floor tile I just downloaded. I'm just going to hold shift when I place this. Takes me a second. Alternatively, I could just take one of these and, disable collisions and just oversize it to the whole thing, but it kind of doesn't scale the textures appropriately. But you get the idea here. So this is a good way to do custom flooring. These abstract panels, too, these you can insert custom images into, meaning you could have whatever flooring you want. So if there's a particular pattern you want or want to use, or if you're fond of something in particular, these objects, when you place them, you can click this icon right here. Click, and it says download texture template. It opens a link on our website to a bunch of templates for those objects, those green objects. One of them, this one, the custom plane, this is the template for that square. And as long as you have an image that is 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels, so 1024 by 1024 pixels on both sides. So it has to be an equal square with what you could just do like a repeating carpet image in there or a plain carpet image, and then insert that into there, into the template, and then use this on the map. Yeah, that's a great way to hide rooms as a fog of war. Tara from YouTube says, They use these to create a fog of war. So let's say you had like a room to one side, you're playing on a TV tabletop locally, right? Sorry, this other one's just floor, so I'm just going to generate a room. So let's say I just wanted to cover this room, right? I'll make this square, just cover it. And from top down, you can't see what's in it, right? And then you can do like a plain color option. Alternatively, you could insert a solid color image, or even an invisible one, or other things, templates, etc. In this case, I could just put a blank solid black image in there. There's that. People use this. People use these abstracts for custom walls, custom floors, custom effects. Like I've seen people make wave wakes with it. I've seen people make custom monsters and tokens. I've seen all sorts of things with abstracts. Really, sky's the limit with them as long as you can fit it within the templates. Cronkler, I hope that helps you out. They can be transparent. You just insert a blank. Well, as long as you insert a PNG into it, either a blank PNG or a PNG image, it can support transparency. Just to give you an example really quickly before we move on from this topic. Here is a magic circle. You can still very much see the pattern below. This is just a magic circle. You could do blood splatter. You could do footprints. You can do... I mean, it's a very versatile tool that allows you to fill the gaps where our development doesn't offer things at the moment. We offer these custom objects, the Steam Workshop, and the ability to import custom assets as well to kind of give you more versatility as a community as we release our updates and get closer to leaving early access. Anyway, moving on from that. Did we make a consensus? So I think cemetery was the favorite. Are we gonna, do you guys and gals want to see me build a big, massive cemetery with some crypts and maybe sewers and stuff? Tara is correct there. Supports transparency, but not translucency. Dungeon Master Chef. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your input. Y'all are too much sometimes. I actually enjoy it a lot. So, appreciate it. Okay, so how I'm envisioning this in my head is, and just kind of hear me out in my, so you can hear my kind of me painting a picture of how I'm going to build this. I'm envisioning a large swath of land that, you know, has trees and maybe even nestled near a forest or in a forest. And the land has tons and tons of cemetery plots, grave plots, you know, varying, you know, in age, you know, style, and also, you know, some are like, there's just vast of the similar ones, and others are like more fancy, you know, things like that. Needs a chapel. Okay, I like that idea. A chapel, and maybe some kind of like maybe a small like building for the groundskeeper. Yeah, caretaker's cabin. Atlam. Great minds. Great minds. Okay. So, yes, I do want terracing. I want areas where it's like, oh, it's up here and it's up. Because if it's an older cemetery, they wouldn't take tons of time to shape the land to flatten it out. They would just kind of use a space and dig wherever, right? Was my birthday a D&D session? No, it wasn't. And it's not my birthday yet, actually, but it's coming up. Anyway, so my son just had his 18th birthday, and we were gonna have a D&D session, a one-shot, but he was feeling really sick on his birthday, unfortunately, which was a bummer. And so we had to reschedule the one-shot through the DM, who is actually a Twitch streamer and like a professional DM. You guys and gals may know him as GM Eric. He's, pretty active in our community, comes in the streams here and streams pretty profusely here on Twitch. He will be hosting that one shot, and he was very awesome allowing us to reschedule. I was very, very impressed by that. So yeah, unfortunately, we did not get to have the session. Now, but my son is 18 now. I'm really happy about that. That's really cool. He's really thrilled too. Now on the downside, a few days, I'm gonna feel older. I'm at the age where I just don't enjoy my birthday anymore. Okay, so let's do hills to give it a little bit of diversity, and then I'm going to leave the vegetation blank so I can fill it in by hand. We're going to do no weather. Should there be water? I don't really like the idea of water near the cemetery. In towns that build their cemeteries near their water sources are like, give me the ick. DM, what's a good way to stream D&D? That's a good question. Where do you want to stream D&D? Do you want to stream D&D to Twitch? Do you want to stream D&D to YouTube? Do you want to stream D&D to TikTok? The location of where you stream can make a lot of difference. Mr. Fantastico, that is kind of random. So I'm just going to avoid a body of water to just kind of limit that problem. This is the template for our cemetery, just the basis. Throughout this, I will be changing the terrain, adding in, varied, different areas. And what I want to do to try and make it feel random is instead of starting like on a like a flat edge here where there was like an entry point, I think what I'm going to do is have there be like a gate here, and that's the entry to the cemetery. I'm not going to surround the whole thing. It's just kind of like, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we'll start here at the entry point, which is going to be some gates, some like wrought iron gates, and then a road. And then we'll go in and we'll have roads, and then there'll be different stuff as you go in, and then it'll kind of branch out into kind of just randomness as we go. That's how my brain's thinking I should approach it. Alrighty. Something's wrong. Oh, Tara, yeah, my name is Mac. I'm the community manager for DA. You got any questions, please let me know. I am here to assist. Consider these streams AMA format. Sorry, we've been kind of just answering questions and talking about the theme. Haven't gotten much done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to File, Save. We're going to get a save going for this map. I'm going to call it Ancient Cemetery. Now we have it saved, and I have my autosave interval set to 5 minutes, which is good. I think early on, though, I'll probably just leave it to a minute so there is good backup progress as we go. Remember, if you are making a map, in order for autosave to activate, you must first off have it enabled and saved with an interval, right? But you also need to name and save your map once. Oh, it's awesome, Dungeon Master Chef. It really is. But yeah, so Tara, sorry, I I apologize if I missed that question there, and Seisu got you all set away there. But if you do have any other questions related to Dungeon Alchemist, feel free to ask. So let's start here with the little road. So I could use the terrain like tools and use a brush like this to make a road, which I don't know. I kind of like these cobbly kind of flagstone roads just made out of whatever. That's personal preference. But at the same time, I could go into the AI settings. Let's just disable everything but ground. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is go to village and alley, because that'll always be like a terrain type that is like a cobbled ground. Just rotate this. I wonder how that works when it's generated just off the edge. Probably add a little bit of edge there. I'm already not liking this type of road, though, for that reason. Just won't meld well with the edge. What I could do, though, kind of cheat a little bit. No, I almost got it. I'm not going to use this road type. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to just flatten this terrain out to start. But yeah, that is a good suggestion, Can Man. I definitely think stuff like that, if it's not already on our upvote, should be there. I definitely recommend checking that space out. I'm going to flatten a little bit out here. So you've got the flatten terrain tool. You can flatten to room height too, which is actually lower than this. So I have either option. I actually kind of like that ridge that was off the edge there from before, so we'll leave it like that. Okay, so now we've got this. Let's paint this. First, I'm gonna paint it to this rock. This rock is not actually the rock I want to use for the road, but I noticed that this rock has cracks in it, and when you do that, it bleeds the grass through. I don't want that. I want it to be all stone. So I'm gonna go through with this under layer of like this darker, denser stone. And I'm not 100% certain why, but some of the paints for terrain and whatnot, they seem to have more presence than the others. Oh, DM, it's been 2 months? No. So this will be kind of our entry road, right? Which I think is looking pretty good so far. I'm using the smoothing tool to kind of dimple it out the sides, so it kind of just, it's like flat and then goes down like this, down the sides. Okay, now let's do the fence. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to Objects, Structural, and we're gonna go to Freestanding Walls, which is pretty much our entire wall selection. I kind of wanted to do like a wrought iron fence. Something maybe like this. This. Grab a few of them. Alternatively, we could do a stone fence. I'm open to suggestions here. I think they both have their their place. You know what I mean? You know, I know there's some purists who insist that there should be nothing but theater of the mind, and there's others that would prefer the other way. So I think I'm going to use this as the main entry, right? Like a gate with wrought iron. There'll be kind of like, I'm thinking maybe an arch type thing here. And then it'll be gated off this direction and this direction. And then there might be like some topiaries or plants here to decorate the exterior. And then as we go in, there'll be road. The road will kind of branch off and thin out and go into different areas. And then we'll just kind of start decorating with tons of plants. This one here. Oh no, Tara, that makes total sense. No, that's fine. Whatever is best for you, but call me Mac. Yeah, most everyone in the community calls me Mac. That's kind of just the name. That's really more of a nickname than anything. And it's a moniker I've had since I was younger. So I it's like an alias basically. Some of us have to call him boss. Yes, so I have so many underlings because I'm the manager of one. If anything, y'all are incredibly defiant of me. I feel like the mods have a group chat without me. It's okay. I don't like group chats. More than anything, I manage the community, right? So. Oof. Easy there. Okay. So we've got the road. I think this is the fence I'm going to go with. I'm really partial to this for the exterior. I'm just going to do a bunch of these connecting to each other. And what I'm going to do is hold shift. Earlier there was a question about painting multiple objects, right? Someone was asking if there was hotkeys for this. So there's the erase hotkey, right? By the way, our wiki has a list of all our hotkeys, and many of the hotkeys within DA are listed right on them or adjacent to them. So like if you're in the object panel down at the bottom, it says shift to place multiple objects, control, toggle, snap to grid. If you're in here, you know, where you're drawing rooms, you can hit control to remove room tiles or hold control to remove room tiles, etc. There are a few unknown hotkeys, and that's what the wiki is helpful for. I think eventually we'll have like probably a menu option where you can probably see all the hotkeys and maybe even do key changing, like adjust your preferences to have different setups, like most software. That looks really good. I like that. Honestly, Remy, I really wouldn't even recommend it. I mean, the person who just did that is having problems since they've done it. Like, have you noticed that? Like, I really don't think we should even encourage people to do it. It's, albeit it's just a text file, but at the end of the day, if you start messing things up, it can cause problems. I don't recommend doing file editing of any kind with Dungeon Alchemist because we don't really provide support for it. Yeah, like I said, I mean, you're more than welcome to. It's just something we don't really provide support on, so I don't really talk about it much, you know? First rule about modifying DAM files. We don't talk about modifying DAM files. Oh my gosh, Abby Normal is watching me on TikTok. That's incredible. It's someone famous. It's the brain from Frankenstein. It's called a lance. Listen's off, but yet it struggles and jumps on top. Oh, there's plenty of young viewers here, but there's also plenty of old viewers here. I like to give pop culture references across all decades, including ones for those that might be, you know, black and white movies. Like honestly, I like to pride myself on the fact that I'm a well of pop culture knowledge from like a span of almost 50, 60 years because my parents raised me up on tons of like oldie music and movies and yeah, see we got viewers of all ages here. So we got to make references across the board. Listen, sometimes I talk about the skibbity toilet and sometimes I talk about Abby Normal. Sometimes I say stuff like that to my kid. Like those phrases, I'll just tell you, as a parent, your power lies in saying that phrase to your child over and over again because that's what kills it. If you hate the phrase, use it. Use it as a weapon. I some of you may know I tend to be a bit chaotic neutral sometimes. And by that I mean like on the stream I will interchangeably and in conversations with people I will interchangeably use the term GIF and GIF. That is one of my favorite ones. Hey, see you, Impelled Banana. Sorry I didn't get much done today, but it is the first stream on this, so we're just getting the intro, right? The entrance. Over the next few streams, though, it'll really start taking shape. Hmm. Give this some dents again. And... ah, that paint just jumped. We'll see you later, Banana. Okay, let's look for an arch. Ooh, I could do one of these. But I was kind of more thinking like a... I feel like we have some like metal arches or garden arches and stuff like that. What are they called? When I search arch, I'm only getting a few different things. Let's look under stonework, masonry, probably. Yeah, let's try gate. It's getting more like what I'm looking for. The lich gate could work good. Yeah, you know what? You're on the right path here. Also, kind of, I like the lich gate because it has that sort of like gate bridge feel too, like from the old school, like Sleepy Hollow cartoon, the Disney one. with like the sing song to it. Do you remember that, Remy? Because they had the old like wooden covered bridge that's kind of like an iconic piece of Americana that really isn't like around anymore. They're like only a few of them exist. Yes, with the massive Adam's apple. And like his book was all strapped up. Like and he would carry it with like a strap around it around his back or whatever. Ichabod. Ichabod Crane. So right now I am building a cemetery. This is the entry point to the cemetery. Mess that up. Oh well. Yeah, we don't really do LFGs in the Discord. I mean, you can maybe post something in off topic. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily mind an LFG space. I could talk to the devs and the mods about it and see what we can come up on. I like that entry point there. That looks good. But how you doing, R3? Okay. So that's our entry point. I'm thinking some trees or some bushes or something like that here. Some shrubs. Shrubbery. Me. It's going to be a massive ancient cemetery that's been used for like centuries. I'm thinking city. I like putting a little bit of ivy in my builds when I can. And this is a great spot for it on the front gate, right? Good little detail. Put a little bit on the ground, kind of breaching off of it. Really good. I like intermingling pieces of ivy like this, and you can kind of just have one that seems lower, like there's less there. You can raise it up or down so it's part of a continued piece. There's taller pieces like this that are just gigantic. Let's search. I mean, we could just find something berry, put it in it. We can make our own elderberries. The application Dungeon welcome to the stream, by the way. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. So that's a really good question. M over at TikTok asks, is this free to use? Right now, we currently only offer a free demo. The demo gives you kind of a slice of what Dungeon Alchemist can do, giving you access to our forest biome and giving you the ability to build a tavern. That's a free demo is available on Steam, and Dungeon Alchemist is for a full license is a one-time purchase for a lifetime license. That lifetime license gets you all of our past updates and all of our future updates until we leave early access and have delivered on all our Kickstarter promises. Even at that point, we plan to still offer quality of life improvements. And, feature updates after we leave early access for free. Now, keeping that in mind, that one-time purchase includes thousands of objects that are currently included, plus many future thousands of objects. Each update includes like 500-600 objects, and we have 5 major updates remaining. Room types that the AI can draw rooms and save you time. Environmental biomes. Tokens, terrain types, etc. Every update is tons and tons of new content, and those updates are free. You also get access to the asset importer, which allows you to import 3D models, custom 3D models. So if you can build sculpt 3D models or have access to 3D models, you can import them for local use or share them on the Steam Workshop, where yourself and other users can browse our repository of over 4,700 3D models to improve your collection, to make your maps more intricate or breach into other aesthetics that we don't currently cover, such as, say, sci-fi, cyberpunk, modern, anime, cultural settings that aren't available. In addition to that, you also have access to over 9,000 free maps that were shared by our community. These maps are a great way to look and learn. You can just download them and use them. How many people here, before you started making your own maps, did you go on Google or like Reddit and look for maps and just find something that worked? Or maybe you'd commission somebody to make one. Hey, Necrolist, thank you for the kind words. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Hey, if you ever need any assistance, guidance, have any questions, or just want to hang out with like-minded cartographers and GMs, you're welcome back anytime. All of our streams are AMA format, so we like to kind of host an open environment where anyone can come in and get support anytime they need it. And as you see here, these maps on the workshop, there's thousands to look at, examples ranging from all types of styles. So you can really, look at these and learn a lot from them. Here's a sci-fi map. There's all sorts of different styles available. There's Fallout, zombies, fantasy. All over a lot of fantasy, I'll be honest with you. But anyway, I digress. Moving on, let's get back to the build. The workshop is amazing. I do think it's an absolutely astounding time-saving tool that our community uses to improve the value of Dungeon Alchemist each day. 9,000 maps, close to 5,000 assets, plus the map-making tool itself, the in-house developed AI and all of the assets that we've made ourselves in-house that utilize our AI is also a very valuable tool. Hey, no problem, Em. And remember, our AI was developed entirely in-house on our own data sets, on our own maps. No public data, maps, or art was used to train our AI. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understands that as we move forward. Plus, you're not even required to use it. You can make maps entirely by hand like we're doing today. So you can just use the tool like any other map-making tool. It's over 9,000! Speaking of that, yeah, so I was going to shoot some content. I shot some content, messed it up. I was going to reshoot this morning. It was way too humid. It was crazy how hot and humid it was this morning. So I'm going to shoot the reshoots tomorrow morning as long as the weather's abiding, and I'll get the announcement out for the giveaway. But soon there'll be a giveaway announcement for 3 dice sets, custom dice sets that are Dungeon Alchemist themed, as well as a dice tray. So there'll be like 1 grand prize winner and then 2 runner-up prize winners. And that'll be our over 9,000 giveaway to celebrate that. If anything, check out our demo. It's free. You can see how it runs on your computer. You know, give it a good go and see if you like it. From there, you know, a purchase is up to you, but the one-time license with all that value is really hard to resist. I mean, there's a lot of map-making tools out there, but many of them are like subscription-based or, you know, things like that. And so we like to offer a more permanent solution. It is... Oh, let me get back to the giveaway. I keep getting sidetracked. So this dice tray is more than it's more than meets the eye. It's a transformer, okay? It is a map mat. This here is a Dungeon Alchemist tavern, and on the other side, there's a Dungeon Alchemist forest encounter. So these were maps made by a community member of ours named Geeky Tendencies. She is a seamstress and crafter extraordinaire, made these maps, ordered custom bolts of fabric, and then cuts out the fabric and makes these dice trays. So I ordered this dice tray as part of the giveaway. And then she also included a little dice bag using some of that spare fabric. So it's a little custom Dungeon Alchemist dice bag. So the winner will be getting the tray, the like #1 drawing winner will be getting the tray, and then the DA set with the alembics suspended in them. There's like a glow-in-the-dark vial in the dice, and this bag. And then the runner-ups will each be getting their own dice set. Honestly, our devs really prefer the old methods of like development and like ownership, the concept of it. Dungeon Alchemist, if you buy the license through Steam, you can uninstall Steam and still run DA. That being said, Steam does offer you a little bit of extra support. You have the workshop, obviously, which is a big deal. And you can communicate for support through Steam's like discussion panel. And then lastly, Steam gives you updates for free. So whenever we push out our update, they push through Steam. So, I mean, it's a good idea to keep Steam active, at least until we've left early access. Hey, Taylors, how you doing? Okay, let's get back to the build. I'm thinking just a little bit more. What other plants should I put over here? Should I have... Ooh, let's look and see if there is some... I feel like there's like topiaries. Is that what they're called? When they're like a... What is it called when it's like a sculpted plant? Like a sculpture plant. I'm looking for ones that look like kind of like people. I know that Asmodeus has uploaded some in the past. I feel like he has, at least. Oof. What happened? My mouse got sticky there. Just trying to think of what it is called. Let's search. No, that's definitely not yet. Well, let's search cemetery for now. Tombstone. Didn't, what's his bucket? Danger Weasel upload a collection of tombstones recently? We got some dead trees. Like that. Let's add that to our collection. Just download a bunch of more like twisted, rotten trees that we can put in the cemetery in random spots. A gazebo. Graves. This is the one. Gonna get that too. That'll really improve our selection there. I see you, Dim. Yeah, we kind of coordinate on the back end sometimes. He'll be like, is there something that people might need? And I'll be like, oh, this would be a good idea. And that's what he usually will do. It works out well. Let's see here. What else do we got besides graves? I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can add to this. What you trying to post, Can Man? So, technically, Necrolis, you can build multi-floor by hand in Dungeon Alchemist, and this capability has been around for a while. You just have to use the object panel to fill the voids in different floors. So the first floor would be AI, and then everything above that would be something else. So let me give you an example here. But yeah, as long as you're willing to, use a few of the tools and objects available, you can definitely build stuff by hand to multi-level. I just saved this map. I'm going to open up a previous build that is a 4-story tower with a roof. But I used, pretty much all the tools available to make this work. So this roof is available on the Steam Workshop. My wife, the lovely Mrs. Mac, made this for me custom, so it would fit this build well. But I shared it for everyone to use. These walls, these are a stock asset. These were something in DA before we started allowing round rooms with the AI and diagonal rooms. These are available under Objects, Structural, and then you go to Round Constructions. I know you're not interested in that. You're more interested in the multi-level. So what I have done here is I used essentially a combination of platforms like this one, the walls like these, or platforms that I got off the Steam Workshop. This here is this round ones from the Steam Workshop to build multiple levels. And each of these can be pulled apart. You can look at it and it's fully navigable. I built this so each level can be pulled off as a single piece and deleted, and you can export the level below it as a new level. So floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 4. That way on a VTT, you would just have separate scenes, if that makes sense. So you'd have one top-down scene of the roof, one of floor 4, one of floor 3, floor 2, floor 1, etc. That is how I built a multi-level, and essentially what I did was I disabled object collisions. When you do this, it does the obvious thing, allows you to put objects together. Notice those red marks? That's pretty much telling you can't do that, right? Turn it off. Now you can merge these rocks together, making a new, unique kind of rock outcropping that didn't exist before, right? So that's what collisions off does. Now, once it also is disabled, you get a few other secondary behaviors. One of which is the option to raise objects up and down. So this arrow appears on pretty much any object this behavior is enabled. You can raise things up. That's where the second floor, third floor, etc. comes from. So what I've done is, in this case, I'll just place this one. Many objects in DA can snap together like Lego. So you can build like big castle walls, city walls, multi-floor castles, towers, homes. But anything above that first floor that you draw with this you're going to have to use structural objects. So anything under this object panel, under the structural section. Another pro tip, these freestanding walls, every one of these walls is a wall option from this menu. So you can mimic the walls that you have on your first floor and make a second floor. Realistically, though, deciding how you fill in like a space between, like how is the transition between floor 2, floor 3, floor 4, is something that is possible with objects, or possible separating the floors as separate rooms on the map. So you can have room over here, room over there, room over here, and they're just navigable spaces that you move your players between. Ultimately, how you immerse your players and story tell can make a lot of difference. Now with these walls, let me grab one. Hopefully it'll let me. Oh, yeah, that won't let me because that's an object. These walls here, these can be placed pretty much anywhere. They can be rotated, they can be resized, they can be raised up and down. So that gives you versatility for your multiple levels. Anyway, it is essentially, a restriction of the AI, not necessarily of the tool itself. So you can build multi-level, just if you want to have AI do it, you're going to have to wait for the next update. The next update will support multi-level and roofing with the AI, as well as separate indoor and outdoor lighting. So no longer will the shadows be cast inside from the outside, etc. No, Ed, you cannot. Hey, Aconite, how you doing, buddy? Whew. Let's see here. How you been? Okay, let's get back to that build. Back to the cemetery that I've done very little on. No idea, Can Man. It's too early to say. More likely, it'll be focusing on the roofing for individual housing and the types of styles of roofing that would make sense to it. I don't know if they'll be focusing on tree canopy removal in this update. Little pond here. Just kind of sink it down. Been sick, man? Oh, I'm sorry to hear it. It's the worst, isn't it? Remember, at the end of the day, the upvotee is not a democracy. It's a suggestion board. Just because something has a lot of votes doesn't mean it is viable or possible. There's a lot of votes on things that just won't ever be implemented, I'm afraid. At this point, though, I mean, the tree canopy thing makes sense. It likely will be addressed after roofs are sorted out and multi-level is sorted out. Till then, I just can't speak to it. The one thing to remember is we are in early access. At the end of the day, there's a lot of development still remaining to go. I do think, like roofing, everybody will think, oh, is it going to be a complete finalized version of roofing? I think one thing you should take into account is our AI is still in development, and there's subtle improvements with each update that improve the speed, its performance, how smart it is, things like that. Like the design of rooms, and it integrates new objects each time. So we're almost pretty much every update retraining and improving the AI. So, like, I would say, you know, the rooms, the things that they can do, the add-ons to them with time, that'll improve. You know, I do think, you know, improving how you can export and what options are available there, tree canopy, etc., is a great suggestion. I do know that there are some workarounds right now, especially with the green screen backdrop, that allow you to really make tiles and stuff. So, you know, make a tree canopy as a tile with the green backdrop, and you can start adding tiles in Foundry right now of the tree canopy. Honestly, now that there is more multi-level support for VTTs, we have more motivation. Like, Foundry just launched like level support and things like that as stock. It used to be an add-on, like a module. Does that make sense? And so at that point, it was kind of a struggle for us to be like, yeah, we want to do this, but at the same time, how will this work? Is there a service out there that can utilize this? Okay, so we've got the entry to the cemetery. Does this feel... This side looks good. I kind of want to add some more here. Open to suggestions. I'm kind of was thinking some green around the edge of the pond here. Oop, that is rock. Reeds? Okay, we can do some reeds. So like some Christopher... I'm just kidding. Let's see here. I don't... Do I even have a reed in here? I think I'm going to have to find some on the workshop. Why am I crazy? I feel like there are things like that. Ah, Bullrush Reed. It's one word. Telling him all the time, separate it. I can't search that because this doesn't detect it. So when you add an object to the workshop, you want to make sure that the object's name is separated. If the title of it is one word like this, I have to search Bullrush Reed is one word to find it. The Steam search, the object search, it needs spaces to make them individual search terms. It's possible. It's possible, Dyson. Honestly, though, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. We need a lily pad. One little lily pad. Something like that. Shrink it down. Doesn't that look good? Oh. Clean. Hey, Yimit, what's up? How you doing? Thank you so much for the love. Appreciate the kind words. So Tom Yimit over on TikTok says, just chiming in, say I absolutely love Dungeon Alchemist. I use it so often for my games. Appreciate the kind words and the support. Really do. As an indie team, you know, of less than 10, it really means the world to us when people say such kind words, give us such, you know, overwhelming positive reviews. And, you know, the word of mouth, sharing it with your friends, family, etc., sharing it with your table, it means the world to us as well. Let's see here. Love that I can make a map on the fly as my characters describe a location and can import it fast, right? Isn't it great that you can essentially be one step ahead of your players? Is that better? You know what, Bane? Just let me have this. I'm just kidding. Honestly, yeah, your players are probably constantly throwing you for loops, and you have all your session prep planned for the night, and they're like, actually, we want to go over here and do something completely different that you didn't talk about at all, or plan for. I understand that all too much. I've seen it plenty of times as a player and a DM. Okay, what other animals would we have here in this swampy area? Fish. Let's put some fish in the water. Maybe a koi. Yes, animated koi. There we go. Centaur. Hooking it up. Centaur is one of our most prolific content sharers, and he will locate items on Sketchfab, Thingiverse, etc., that have a Creative Commons license, and then he'll properly attribute the Creative Commons license and credit the creator, put a link to the original creator's work, make notes of the changes, tags, etc. So this way, it's properly crediting the Creative Commons creator and license. These types of assets with Creative Commons attribution and licensing, in many cases, can be shared as long as the intention isn't for profit. So if it's for personal use, then it's fine. Hey, Tagamemnon, how you doing? Welcome to the Damn fam. We actually stream several times a week. Today is what we call Mapmaker Monday. I build a map live for people to watch, interact, share, suggestions and feedback. But the streams are also AMA format, so if you have any questions, need guidance, have suggestions or feedback, feel free to chime in and we'll help. So Felipe, currently you really can't. And I'll be honest with you though, not unless you download like an object from the workshop. But in all my time DMing and playing, I've never once heard a player complain about the shadows. It only seems to be DMs that notice it. And I think it's for one reason. We're all cursed to be detail oriented. That's part of the reason we became GMs in the first place. We love the minutia, the details, the background, the lore, right? And so we notice these fine details that more often than not, our players who are busy trying to kick butt or loot or whatever won't notice. Now, I don't say that to brush it off. We do plan to address this in our next update. Remember, Dungeon Alchemist is in early access, so a lot of things aren't final. They're not finished. They're in kind of a state of flux. So our next update, Fun with Objects, will address separate ambient indoor lighting. But for now, if you search roof in the workshop, they have these roof covers, right? These are invisible roof tiles that if you put them over your building will block out and create a shadow, or it will block out the sun, not allowing the shadow to be cast inside. So these objects will do that in the interim. It's kind of a band-aid solution, I will admit it. It's not a perfect one, but it does work pretty well. There's several different shapes and whatnot. Canman, it just says, I think you're right in this. It took my players half a year to notice I had animated all the water in my DA maps from Fantasy Grounds. So, honestly, Felipe, I do understand your frustrations there, or wanting it, to have separate shadows. I think a lot of people in our community want the separate indoor-outdoor and feel it heavily breaks immersion. But at the end of the day, I do think, more often than not, players will just brush by and without even noticing. I can't count how many times I spent hours building an intricate part of a map that the players didn't notice any aspect of it. They just blew through it, destroyed something in there that was important, or caught it on fire, or any number of things. How many times have the players caught the MacGuffin on fire? Because they're obsessed with Fireball. Oh my gosh, in all my maps, I'll leave treasure troves and my players just ignore them. There's like secret hordes. Like, come on, guys. Like, look for things. Investigate. Like, oh, doesn't it drive you crazy a little bit? Which, the whole town of Baldur's Gate, that's impressive. Impressive, Dungeon Master. How's it going so far? Any luck? Let's do one more koi. We'll put it up into the kind of the bulrush area, but we'll make it larger. The big fish, they get big for a reason, right? I like it. Does this pond look adequate? This little exterior area? I might add a little bit more of this ivy. But I think overall we got a good little feel here. Yeah, I tend to find those posts quite often, you know, as the community manager I'll look around for videos. I found one just the other day on TikTok, and it was like comparing four map makers, and they're like, Dungeon Alchemist is in the top 4, in my opinion. I was like, oh, well, thank you for including us in this list of awesome, you know, map makers. It's really just such a pleasure to be included in such amazing lists, because there's such powerful tools on the market. And we're still relatively new, you know, and as we are in early access and not completely finished, I think that, you know, that merits at least a little bit of discussion. I'm just proud of our team and what we've accomplished. Okay, let's start branching out. So I think I want to come over here with like a little road that kind of... I think there'll be like a main road that goes down the center, but then there'll be branching roads that kind of go in different directions, right? So we'll just keep extending this road down the center as we go, which, I don't know, feels like a good idea. I do think that the groundskeeper should probably be up near the front somewhere, like his home, his shack. Does that seem reasonable? Or maybe more towards the center? You know, if I do have items planned for my players that they miss, I'll more often than not drop it again. Does that make sense? Like, I'll put it somewhere else down the line for them. I just kind of think of it as like the main artery of traffic here. This will definitely guide, you know, processions, funerals, whatever. Anyone bringing in or visiting. One other thing I wanted up at the front was a wagon. And I was thinking, like, this one here has that vibe, right? That, or I wanted one that was open, that you could see a coffin in it. So we should have the chapel up at the front. I also agree with the chapel statement, because if you were there for a funeral, you'd go to the chapel and then go out to the grave, right? So it would probably be the groundskeeper being central or near the front also makes sense. At the front, they're kind of like a pseudo guardsman, you know, and a greeter. But if they're in the middle, it's easier for them to access the whole property. Okay. Seisu says groundskeeper in front, chapel in mid. Atlam says groundskeeper would be first point of contact. Okay. I like the idea of a bell tower. We do have a bell tower. So we'll make sure we integrate this. What I'm going to put the bell tower to the side as a reminder that we will be building something around this and using it. Well, one thing we can say here, Remy, is this is an ancient cemetery, so it is possible at one point it was outside the cemetery, but it kind of, the cemetery grew. You could do them right next to each other, too. I like all these suggestions. Yeah, what I was thinking is it will be part of the chapel. I'm just putting it to the side as a reminder to use it. It will be part of the chapel for sure. I'm going to have kind of a round area to the side that has the bell tower. Maybe with stairs going around the top to a top floor or something. So really, we just need to decide where. That's the important part. But before that, let me finalize this. So I'm going to put some plants or something over here. I was really hoping I had a shrub that was like, it looked like a human, right? Like a sculpture of a human that is a plant. And I don't think we have anything like that. I thought there was some on the workshop. The closest thing would be like the dryad, which, granted, it is pretty cool. And I could sink it into the ground like this, and then it just looks like a natural piece. Whoa, what just happened? I was really hoping for like a topiary style statue, human statue. Does anyone understand what I mean by that? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to like understand even what I mean by it. Honestly, I feel like we have a very, like, our community doesn't have, like, as big of an appreciation of cemetery builds or crypts as I'd like. And I'm hoping to spurn some creativity there, because I would love to see, more cemeteries on the workshop. Okay, so what would I put on this side? Let's do a statue. Because I can't really do a statue of a person, but I could do like a pedestal. Or, I mean, I can't really do like what I wanted before, but I can do a statue, and that would, kind of fill the void. Am I crazy, or is there nothing attached? Shouldn't there be like a... Oh, weird. The plants are invisible. Huh. Those hedges were missing. Am I crazy, or the walls around these just all missing? And they're not invisible. Interesting. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. I thought they were all just objects for some reason. A fountain would be a good item, too. Something like this. But we already have the water feature over here. Really could use some suggestions here. I'm trying to think of what to put. Yeah, I was considering the fountain with coins. So to raise and sink an object, if you disable collisions, then this arrow appears right here. Then you can raise and lower objects pretty much any object on command. The only exclusion would be objects that like fit to the ground. So like downstairs, like these, for instance, right? These can't be raised up and down. Another behavior of this is kind of a secondary cool behavior. When the collisions are disabled, you can make objects pretty much infinitely smaller or larger, giving you a lot more versatility in your creativity of what you plan to build. Hey, Caillou, how you doing? Yeah, I guess we could just keep it simple over here. I could also just put like a tree. I do kind of want this adjacent to a forest. Still in the heat wave, my friend. It's still triple digits here. And it's humid as all today. A gift shack. What's up, Caillou? Ask away, my friend. Just... Whoa. My mouse button on the left click has been getting, like, sticky today. So I'm thinking we'll probably put the chapel, like, right here-ish. And just put the groundskeeper's, like, place right next to it. So they'll both be in the front. That's what I'm vibing with at the moment. Darn it. Hey, Mateus, how you doing? So I'm thinking this will be our chapel. Something like this. Let's generate it, see what it looks like. Of course, I generated it with nothing, because I'm awesome. I'm using the forest with the sorry. Oh, that actually generated really clean. Holy cow. Wow. So I did no vegetation forest. I mean, grasslands tend to have a lot of vegetation on them. I actually really like the symmetry of this generation. I was thinking of putting the bell tower back here, but I really like where it put all this stuff. Maybe I'll do an attached room that's rounded as the bell tower. We'll figure this out. But goodness, that looks really good. The generation's very symmetrical. There's only a little bit that I have complaints with, but overall it's pretty nice. One thing I like to do when things like that are required or needed, Atlam. I mean, that probably is the job of somebody in the city, you know, like a coroner. But I would say that ultimately, if something like that is required, I typically will do one of these bad boys. Just something like stair with banister leading underground that goes somewhere else, which can just be another place, you know? Honestly, for a support like this, Caillou, it's probably best to create a support thread in the Discord. That way, in the Dungeon Alchemist Discord, that way our creators who know a lot about this stuff can share their expertise. I know that Sack and Asmodeus and Danger Weasel and a few of the others love providing, you know, help when they can. So, I don't know. I'm really impressed with this layout, right? And I'm thinking I'm going to put some more pews to the side. I wanted to go back to the floor plan and I messed up. Come back, room. Okay. I was hoping to undo and show the floor plan here so I could raise it, but it just deletes it for some reason. Huh. Come on. No way. No way. It won't, like, redo it? Oh my goodness. I know why. Yeah, I messed that up. It's okay. The regeneration's even better, and it put pews to the side. I wanted punishment pews. These are for people who are late. Oh no! No, that's not what I wanted. That actually turned out really good. Now we just need to figure out this. Because I wanted to raise it up, and now I can't. That's the problem. Probably gonna just have to put like a stair here. What I'm gonna do. We'll figure it out. Save. I think this looks pretty good so far. Alternatively, I might just do like a little patio area out here. But now it's too close to the road. I kind of didn't put it out far enough. I really like what this is, but I think I'm going to have to redo it. Yeah, I messed up. It's not far enough away from the road. I made a mistake. What I should do is draw the road up a little bit so I can see how much room I have to work. Because I don't want it touching the road. I want like a gap that goes down with like a walkway into it. So I made a mistake, but I'll live up to it. That's part of Dungeon Alchemist, baby. That's just the way we roll around here. Sometimes you mess up. Oh, I didn't give up. I never give up. I just keep it on these corners along here. That'll be the right width. This direction. One's essentially the same thing. I like that. That looks really good. Really good. Really good. Right now with this one. Better. Or paved. Liking that a lot. Liking it. Liking it. Okay. Oh. By the way, no. Excuse me 1 second, okay? I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. I got a bad call, I thought it was. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. So, no big deal. To be honest with you, though, I do have to wrap up the stream at exactly 11. That's looking pretty good. I think the area, the intro area here is looking really solid. Oh, I was like, what's so quiet? I couldn't hear anything. Don't have my headphones on. Let's sculpt the chapel and put it over here, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Well, the cathedral. Looks good. Oh. Generated it. Should not have generated it. But pretty good so far. We'll rotate it. I think I'm this right here. Just need it a little bit out. I'm going to align it with this road first. Then bring it down here. I think that'll give us enough room to work with this space here, right? Yeah, I'm gonna generate this. There's the door. No, that's not where I want it. Okay, pro tip. If you take the door and move it to where you want it in your generation, right? So change the orientation. Click on the building and regenerate it. It regenerates the structure around the door. The door is the centerpiece for the AI generation, and it relies on it. So once you change the door, you change the layout. All right, everyone, I have an appointment I gotta get to, so I'm gonna be wrapping up the stream. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you all today. Thank you so much for being part of the stream, for participating in chat, for asking questions, giving feedback and suggestions on the build. If Y'all have been tremendously helpful today. I got to go deal with life. So unfortunately, I have to wrap it up. But for everyone that was here today, whether you were actively participating in the chat, sharing feedback and suggestions, giving answers to people needing support, or you were, just lurking, vibing, hanging out, I appreciate each and every one of you supporting our weekly streams, community initiatives, because without you, we wouldn't be, such an amazing, vibrant community, and wouldn't have as much fun. So these streams are always a blast because you're part of it. So thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is a map making tool available on on Steam. We offer a free demo that you can check it out, see how it runs on your computer, give it a try. Remember, the demo is only a small slice of what Dungeon Alchemist actually can do. So if you try it out and you like it, remember you can always purchase the early access edition and get access to Dungeon Alchemist in its current state and all major updates for the next few years. I hope you have an amazing day. We'll see you Wednesday with the office hours stream in our Discord. That is a Discord exclusive stream. So if you're not a member of our Discord, drop in our Discord and check out the events there. Oh, actually, nope. There is no stream this Wednesday. No office hours. My bad. I totally messed up that. It was canceled this week due to personal reasons. It is my birthday, so I will be not streaming. Hope you have an amazing day. We'll talk to you later. Mac out. Bye.